I'm Clint-culberson with lordsofconsciousness.com. I am here at the 2017 Autumnal Equinox Celebration. It's very difficult to say, but
said.
and I'm here with Kim-hicks, who has her own radio show. And would you just say the name for me one more time, because I'm trying to...
It's on Blog Talk Radio, and it's on the Galactic U Radio network.
Okay.
Lessons of the Universal Family is the name of my show.
Awesome. And what days of the week are
I'm
you
on
doing it?
Thursday nights, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Bam. So check her out, man, because as you're going to see in our discussion, she's one awesome lady who's got such an amazing perspective, because you've had so many cool experiences throughout your life. Can you kind of just explain? I want to get into what's happening this weekend, but just kind of explain how your life path has led you to even doing your show and doing your blog and being here even this weekend.
Well, Lessons of the Universal Family is actually based on Atlantis teachings, and I based it on what I call life path number 9, if anybody's into life paths. And the life path number 9 is the path of the teacher, the healer, and the artist. And so a lot of some of the greatest people like Mother Teresa and Gandhi, they were all what we consider life path number 9, some of the greatest teachers on our planet. And then when you start over again, when you get to 10, you'd be back to a life path number 1. And so my life, pretty amazing. And one of the things that's really common with life path number 9s is that we're born into families that we don't feel like we fit in. We don't fit into the world. We kind of question what we're doing here. We feel like we're from a different planet, okay? And so we come in probably with a lot of thinking in our heads and trying to figure out where we fit in the world. And so my life was pretty normal. I did have I broke my neck when I was a little girl, and I went into an amnesic state. And so I always say I went and sat on Jesus Christ's lap, because Jesus loves all the little children. Mm-hmm. And so I actually went away from the planet, and I had a choice of whether or not to come back if I was not going to complete my mission on this planet. Wow. And then I decided to come back and had a...
That was your near-death experience, correct?
I've had 3. Wow. And so... Then when I was about 15 and a half years old, I had my first contactee experience, and that was pretty life-changing. They tried to tell me not to go back to school because what I was learning was all not true. They tried to tell me about Lemuria and Atlantis, and they tried to tell me about civilizations that didn't fit into our history. And they just tried to show me how media and TV and things were all part of the programming. And so I didn't really want to have much to do with that. I told them I wanted to be a cheerleader in high school, and so they weren't really too happy with me. And so then I went on with my life. But right after that, I had my second near-death experience. I was a surfer girl out in Huntington Beach, and I caught a wave, probably a nice little 12-footer, and the wave caught me on my back, and I hit the floor out there on the outer break in Huntington, which is about 30 feet down. I hit it 3 times, and I lost the surface, and I got to see the light again, and I got to have a talk with God again, and I washed back up on shore. Wow. And so, but I tried to live a really normal life, went to college, and tried to live a normal life until I was about 30, when I was taken to see a psychic who was definitely from Atlantis, who was in charge of the crystal skulls, and she reminded me of my near-death experiences, what I'd come here for, who I've been in my last lifetimes, and she even brought up the contactee experience, and so I had to kind of face reality. And so when I was 30, I would say I probably had a real spiritual awakening, and that started this path that I'm on now. Yeah.
So what do your show that you have every week, what do you try to focus on? What is your goal every week in terms of reaching out to the world?
I think Lessons of the Universal Family is pretty inclusive of everything, because on a life path number 9, it's inclusive of all life paths. So it's really about finding your soul tribe, your soul family, where you fit in, and possibly your soul purpose. I always I say it's very easy to find your life path and your soul purpose. Anything that makes you happy, anything that makes you lose track of time, that's your soul purpose.
Yeah. Man. I love it. I love that. Anything that makes you feel like where the time flies.
When you lose time, you're doing what you should be doing. The other thing I always like to say on the show is that, it's about embracing your uniqueness. Mm-hmm. I think it's really important that we don't try to fit in. I mean, I spent first 30 years of my life trying to fit in, and where that get me nowhere, actually. And so it is about embracing your uniqueness, because that's your God-given talent. That would make you different from everybody else.
Beautiful. You and me have spent the last 3 days listening to, you talked about soul family, soul tribe, just, kindred spirits, people who have had similar shared experiences, and who also are, seeing similarities in what's taking place in the world, So what stood out to you so far of the last 3 days? If I ask you that, what's really stood out to you in terms of, what people need to hear? Like, if you could have invited anyone in to hear this wisdom, what would it be, you think?
Well, I did do a live broadcast yesterday from the show. And I found it amazing because I got to interview a lot of the speakers. And I mean, it's been amazing, hasn't it? But there were certain things that everybody said in different ways. One is open heart. To come into the world with an open heart, to believe in yourself, to believe in your own intuition, have trust, have faith, and how we are all connected. That I've really felt that. And you get around, the experience of the conference, it feels like soul family. I mean, we're all just like, and the energy, and it's like the people's awareness, and it's just been, it's like the smiles, but really, isn't it about the open heart? I think that's the one thing that I can say that I see throughout.
Yeah, and one of the other themes that kind of, it really correlates with it, because how do we keep our hearts open? And one of the best tools, and it seems to come up over and over and over, even though so often at conferences like this, we're hanging out in the cosmos, right? I mean, that's where we love, and we think about that all often. But the overriding theme keeps coming back to get back into nature too. We're in this most beautiful, epic natural paradise of Sedona, Arizona. And just that reminder to continue to reconnect with nature on a daily basis, not just, once a month that you get out and get a hike in, but like even sit in your backyard, even if you live in the suburbs of the city, sit on your patio, look at the sky, hug a tree, go to the park, wherever you are, find it, and connect with it. Take your shoes off, put your feet on the ground, And I'm sure you've heard it too, but I think that is one of those tools. I don't even want to say tools. I don't really like that, because it's something far beyond tools. It's really like connecting with
connection to Mother Earth, to Mother Gaia. So, and it also connects us to spirit and to the stars as well.
Yep. Yeah, it was kind of like the meditation we heard earlier, where we're talking about starting from the head up, going all the way down, letting it into the earth, and then bringing that earth energy back right up through your head and out.
Allowing you to cleanse you, and to clear your aura and clear your blockages. I think it's really important. One of my things that I do every day, because I try to look at life as being very magical. And so it is about setting clear intention and staying open to spontaneity, so that you can be of service wherever your purpose is. So I get up every day, and I always ask every day, how can I be of service? How can I make this world a better place? I think it's really important. I think with the whole ascension process, we've come through a solar eclipse. We've got an equinox that we're celebrating, which is all about balance. And so it's really about how we can bring balance to the planet, to the individual, as well as to the planet, to everybody, to the universe.
Yeah, and we think about this idea of helping others awaken within themselves as well, and how do we do that? And so many of us want to talk about there's fluoride in the water, and that'll wake them up. It's kind of like the earlier David Still talked about that, and and in many ways how ineffective, by sharing that knowledge in hopes of waking someone up. But oftentimes it's coming back down to those real bare essentials of life, right? Like reconnecting with the earth, but then also really looking within and finding out what's really blocking you. Like all of us deal with pain, anger that's not dealt with, and we in earlier.
It's called life.
Yeah, it's called life. Yeah, and we all share that.
The one thing that I kind of carry with me, it's called The Science of Water, I do believe, by Dr. Matsumoto. And so I believe that we have the power to heal anything. Just as when he prayed over water, it changed the structure of water. I think we can do that with everything and anything in our lives as well. By just setting an intention or putting good energy around it, or you can change energy. But it has to come from the heart, and not from the mind. It is about getting out of our heads and getting back into what really matters.
How do we do that? I mean, because so often I hear that, get out of your mind, get into your heart. And I say it too, and yet oftentimes I find myself up in here as opposed to here. So like, how do we make that conscious choice, or how does that click happen where we can come back into here?
Well, I think that being a triple Gemini that I am, I mean, my mind is always racing. But it takes practice. I mean, just like trying to get to Carnegie Hall. And so it's really about starting to hear the recording. When you hear yourself, it's about changing that and going, nope, that's an old record. I don't want that to play anymore. It takes practice. But, if you start, just start. And one of the ways that you can start is by getting up and making a gratitude list every day. Just starting to looking at all the blessings. And when you hear yourself going off into a place you don't want to be, just say, no, my heart's in charge, not my head. And not playing that old recording, because we've all been programmed, and that if you've been brought up in this world, our school teachers, I mean, it hits you hard if you've been watching TV or anything. So it's really about just taking some time every day and catching yourself when you can. And it takes practice, but it gets easier. It does get easier.
Absolutely. Thank you. What do you think the importance of coming out to conferences like this, gatherings, whatever it be? I mean, even people who've been exposed to a lot of this wisdom before. What is the benefit of coming back and hearing it again, and what is it?
Well, first of all, for me it's about empowerment. It's like I think I've heard it 20 times today. Nobody could sleep last night. There was so much energy that was moved yesterday. And it's like I feel like I can go back into the real world now and bring more peace and happiness. It's another thing to be around people that you totally feel connected to, and that it's like it's nice to know we're not alone. And a lot of times in our daily life, going through the matrix and going to work and supporting the house and the car, and it gets really easy to forget that you're not alone. And so I know I'm all energized. I can honestly say I'm all ready to go back and make difference in the world, just from being at this event. It's been amazing for me. The energy has been. Me too. Just feeding off of it. I often say that you'll probably never remember exact words that are ever said here today, but you'll remember how you felt. And that. And we've been around some people that, I know you and I have had this discussion. It's like, wow, we were there. And some people that I never knew that I've always wanted to meet, I got to meet this weekend. And so I guess there's a lot about manifestation going on here too, right? And, we got to do some exciting things, didn't we? Yeah. And you get to do exciting things by putting yourself out there, right? I mean, so often we say we'd like to do this, we'd like to do that, but we just sit on the couch, and probably someone here listening to this interview right now is going, damn, you're right, man. We can all relate to that. Even you and me, we've all experienced it. But, when you put one foot in front of the other and put yourself, if you want to meet cool people, put yourself in cool places, And for me, I know my life experience, just even recently, in the spring, I kind of heard a voice saying, well, Kim, it's time to let go, surrender and let go with the flow of the universe. And I was promised if I do it, that I'd find my greatest happiness. Well, I've been on this journey for almost 6 months. I just got to unpack my suitcase after 6 months. But I would have never, 6 months ago, I would have never dreamed that I would be here in Sedona, surrounded by some of the most awesome speakers that I've always dreamed of meeting, and just being around this energy. So just know that anything is possible. But I think it's really important that you set your intention, because like Don Daniels said this morning, none of us have gotten a new car without thinking about it a little bit first. So it's really about putting details to it as well. And just putting a little action to your dreams every day, taking one step towards your dreams every day. I think that's a really important message.
One bite at a time, right?
Right.
Yeah. Kim, thank you. Can you tell our audience where they can find your show every week? I mean, what is the website exactly?
Okay, so I'm on every Thursday night on Blog Talk Radio on the Galactic U Radio Network. My show is called Lessons of the Universal Family. My name is Kim Hicks, and I also have a blog at kim-hicks at WordPress, and then also I'm in the process of building a website. The only thing accurate on it right now is my bio, and that's at lessonsoftheuniversalfamily.com. Excellent. Coming soon to a theater near you. But she's here right now. She's already here. You can already get her show. So till we do this again, I'm really looking forward to future collaborations with you, my friend. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Great effort.